How to write an introduction. All right, well, first of all, let's take a look at the introduction itself and talk about why you do them. The purpose of an introduction is really to give your reader a general idea of your essay. It's also the place where you're going to assert your thesis. So you're not actually doing the work of the essay yet. You're not proving anything. You're not trotting out your Freds and all of your proofs and examples. You're just sort of orienting the reader to what's about to happen. When are you going to write it? Well, you need to have either a template or an outline done before you can write your introduction. It's kind of like introducing a speaker at a function, but you don't know who it is. How can you do an introduction unless you know what you're introducing? You absolutely cannot write an introduction until you have your thesis. So once you've got that template done and your essay is outlined, then you can look at writing your introduction. All right, well, if you're not sure how to write an introduction, here is a method for you. It's called BTP. And BTP stands for background, thesis, and preview. And the simplest introduction can be written in 3 sentences. One sentence that provides some background, one sentence where you assert your thesis, and one sentence where you preview the ideas for the reader. So we're going to define each of these and look at some examples. Well, what do I mean when I say background? What this is general information or factual information about your topic for the reader. It generally tries to lead the reader to the thesis. So like I kind of think of it like swimming in a really cold pool. You can't just jump in the deep end right off the bat and sort of make a really outlandish claim to your reader if they don't even know what the topic is. You need to kind of ease them in. It's like going step by step into the shallow end until you're kind of used to the water, and then you can go all the way under. This also might be a place where you provide, if there's something that the reader absolutely needs to know or the rest of the essay won't make sense, then you need to provide that in the background. Kids always ask me, can I start with a question? Can that be the first sentence of my introduction? There's no rule that says you can't do this, but what I will say is it's really tricky to do it well. So watch out. Sometimes, if you use it just as a crutch and you'll say something like, have you ever wondered what it was like to be a medieval peasant? Well, if the answer that the reader has is, well, no, I haven't, and I really don't care, you might have lost them already by the time that you get to that first sentence. So it's pretty tricky to do that. Just providing general background information is probably an easier way to go. All right, then the thesis. This is just a review. What is it? It's your unique opinion. It's the thing you're trying to prove. At this point, you're just really copying your thesis. You shouldn't be changing the thesis at all, or maybe wording it just a little slightly different. But the thesis you already have from the very beginning of your essay. So now you're just plugging that in. This is where the thesis goes in your essay. It goes in your introduction. And finally, the preview sentences. What this does is it's just part of a transition from the thesis to the rest of your arguments. And you kind of provide a little hint. It's kind of like seeing the previews at the movies. It doesn't give you all the answers. It doesn't tell you everything that happens in the movie, but it gives you just enough so you kind of understand what the movie's about. That's what you're doing. You're going to use the main ideas from topic sentences in your essay, but don't provide any Freds for the reader in this part of your essay. All right, so let's look at some examples. We'll go back to the example we've been using in class about what makes a better pet, a cat or a dog. So I need a background sentence. Well, what's some general info? Hey, lots of people get pets, right? That's pretty much a given. Everyone would agree with that. So I make it that a sentence. Thousands of Americans buy pets every year. That's my background sentence. Then I need a thesis. We have my thesis from in class. Dogs are better pets than cats. And then I need a preview. Well, we talked about 3 things in my examples in class. We talked about how they were better for training, they were friendly, and that they were more hygienic. So my preview is dogs are easy to train, friendly, and hygienic. I'm not giving away any of my Freds or specific information, but just sort of a general idea. Now I can combine those 3 into a paragraph. So you could simply just write it out as 3 sentences. Thousands of Americans buy pets every year. Dogs make better pets than cats. They are easy to train, friendly, and more hygienic. And this will work as an introduction, although it's a little clumsy and it's not real smooth. So probably the next step you want to take is now improve and expand it and look at how else you can say what you want to say. And then I ended with something like this. Pet stores across America sell thousands of pets every year, bringing smiles to children and adults everywhere. Some like fish, others reptiles, and there's even a market for birds. But by far the most popular are cats and dogs. While a small kitten is terribly cute, there is no better pet than a dog. They are easy to train, brimming with friendliness, and more hygienic for your home. All right, so if you look back through it, there's a few little pieces, right? All of that was background, from pet stores across America all the way down through even a market for birds, and even the most popular cats and dogs. That was all background. My thesis, I've changed it to a concession assertion. While a kitten is cute, nothing's better than a dog. And then I provided just a slightly expanded preview sentence. And that's my introduction. All right, get to writing.